Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. My name is Chuck, and this is Somerset Farms, episode 10. And in the last episode, we were finishing cultivating after plowing this field, and of course, that's where you find us right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get this field wrapped up here in November. And it looks like we do have some rain on the way this afternoon, which is fine. Because there's not a whole lot else for us to do after this. There's nothing that we can plant in November other than maybe grass, and I don't think that's what we're going to do. So can't remember what I said last time we were on this map, what I was going to do with these fields. Maybe it was grass, but I've done so much grass in the other series, I don't think that's the direction I want to go. So after this, we're probably going to have to go ahead and fast forward a little bit of time because there's not much else for us to do until that canola is ready to harvest in the spring. So we will get busy here on that. And this is kind of a, I was trying to figure out the angle. I think it's 80 and 260 is what I figured out was about right for this. But I got to get my overlap better because look at that gap I'm leaving here. Where's my cultivated status? Yep, gonna have to grab it here. Yeah, look at this whole gap that I just left there, flipping around through the menus. And I stayed pretty true. I ended up at 261, so I was pulling to the side a little bit there, but like, once you get down to this end, it's just a giant wedge. Whoops, back through the hedge. So we will try that again here in a second. But first, cultivated status is right here. Yeah, there's some dots I'm missing. So as you can see, 33 is not quite as well cultivated as 34 is, but we're getting there. But this, obviously, there's some bigger lines on that one we just did because I'm a little bit out of practice and I need to get those lines correct. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you're obviously watching this video, if you're hearing my voice, but thank you so much for coming back and tuning in. I know it's been a little bit since I've had a farm sim video published. So I wanted to just acknowledge that. Number one, I started playing a couple of different games, as you have probably seen on my channel lately. I've been releasing quite a few Atomic Crops videos, and if you haven't checked those out, please do. It is not a farm sim game, but it does have a loose connection to farming. So, but it is another game that I enjoy. I know it's a little different than a sim game, and if that's not your bag, no problem. But I did have fun making those videos, and I wanted to get those out. But that was sort of the backlog of videos I had. Honestly, I've gotten pretty busy at work, and then, of course, it's summer, and we had some kids stuff and some vacations in there, and, of course, working full-time and having 3 kids, and then dealing with summer and their activities and everything. I just got a little bit behind. And then at the very end, one of my daughters came back from summer camp with COVID, so that shut us down for about a week and a half as well. So it's just been kind of a busy summer. So I'm trying to get caught back up, and I appreciate your patience as I'm doing so. But I'm glad that you came back to check this video out, and hopefully some future videos as well. And I will try to get caught back up on both this series and Riverview Farms. I am planning to continue both of these series at this point in time, but I am going to have to get caught back up. I had at one point in time had quite a bit in the backlog, but I have literally published every farm sim video I have made to date, so I didn't have anything else to release other than Atomic Crops videos during that time. So that's what I released because that's what I had on hand. So but we're going to get farm sim going again, as you can see, and we'll get caught up on these. Now it's going to be Somerset for a little bit because Somerset is still going in current time on Riverview, and I talked about this a little bit on Riverview, but I was trying to fast forward a couple of months, and then I kind of thought, actually I should probably just fast forward a couple of years because it's literally just more mowing, more baling, more tedding that into hay, and then feeding the cattle. And I really want to see what that series looks like when I have more than just 120, 180 cattle, whatever I have on there. So it is taking me a little longer to get a Riverview video up because I'm still fast forwarding time. So I got to play that a little bit more just to get farther ahead, so that you guys can see what it would look like with more cattle on that farm. So I intend to fast forward that a couple of months or maybe even years, and then come back to it and publish another video. So in the meantime, you're going to get more Somerset videos than you are Riverview videos until I can get those made. But I do intend to go back to Riverview and record some of those videos once I get that taken care of. So that's kind of the update on what's been going on with me. I know some people were wondering, and a couple of people asked in comments on some of my older videos, so I just wanted to acknowledge that. But tell me what's going on with you. What have you guys been up to the last couple of weeks? How's your summers going? Hopefully you guys are all staying safe and healthy and getting through all of the craziness that is 2022. So yeah, just shout out in the comments what's going on. I'd love to hear from you guys as always. It's more fun when I get to participate with the fans and the viewers. And so yeah, and if there's anything you'd like to see a little bit differently, or if you want to see lots and lots of hay production on Riverview, let me know, and I can certainly do that. I just thought it might be more interesting to skip forward. So, and then yeah, we've got these fields over here. We're done cultivating this one. Now let's take a look at the calendar again. Yeah, I could plant poplar. That's about it. No, and I could plant grass if I wanted to do grass on these two, but it is supposed to rain here in a little bit, so I'm not sure that that's worth it just to make these into grass fields. So this line is unsightly. Let me get this one done too. I don't really need to. This is going to affect the yield so little that it doesn't even matter, but I can see it. And when you've got planted ground like this, or when you plant ground like this that's been cultivated with the little planter that we have in this series so far, it's going to leave these spots bare, which we don't want. So I want to make sure I take care of this here so that we get a nice even plant. Now, at some point in time, we still have $1 million left. I might just buy a bigger planter because planting some of these fields is going to take forever with this tiny little one or something. So then it wouldn't matter so much because I could get a direct drill anyway. And then if I had to plant, even if I missed a little bit of cultivation, I would get that in the direct drill process and it wouldn't actually matter. I would just use or lose some of the percentage there. So let me drive this back to the farm and then we will see what we want to do. I'm guessing we're going to skip. Ooh, tight little road here. 3 meters isn't that big, but it feels pretty big on this little path here. So, but we've gotten our cultivating done. I know that's something I was trying to do at the very beginning of the series and wasn't having a whole lot of luck because our fields kept getting planted, which is fine. The fields that I wanted to buy anyway. So we did that first field and then we did 18. Let me just take a look at our field over here real quick. pH value is still pretty low, but nitrogen is perfect. These are growing, and we're getting expected yield 116%. Yeah, I do agree that we have found probably the best fields that you can find, at least on this map for the soil that I have. Now, I think precision farming randomizes the soil on everybody's map, so you might not have loamy sand, sandy loam, or you might not get 116% on this field that we just looked at. You might get a much better yield percentage or much worse, or you might just have to find a different part of the map that works for you. So obviously take those soil samples, get a good idea of what you're working with, and that will help inform those decisions for you. So let me just look both ways here because I tend to get run over on this street. All right, and keep it tight here so we don't run into that gray car or this white car or this gray car. Oh, look, he stopped for me after he passed me. That was very polite of him. So we're going to take this back down to the main farm and get parked up. And then I don't know that I have any other equipment out in the field, so that might be it. It's starting to get a little dark even though it's only 1:10 in the afternoon. I bet that rain is coming here pretty quick. So we've got 3 cultivated fields ready to plant in the spring. And I think we'll take a look at the sales and then maybe sleep to live another day. So if we got our plow here and our sprayer, let's back this in. We can just leave our cultivator over here too. Like so. Then we're actually going to take this over to our hut, our tiny house, our sleeping arrangements over on this side of the farm, and get some rest in over here. Like so. And you know me, I like to turn on the lights so that if I do sleep and it's dark when I wake up, which sometimes in the winter is, I've got some direction of where I'm going. This again is that McCormick tractor. And this field is doing pretty well as well. pH value is a little bit better here. Nitrogen is still perfect, 97% yield. So not too shabby. So I'm just going to actually click through all my vehicles, make sure I don't have anything else parked somewhere weird, because I can't honestly remember. So we've got the two cases parked next to each other in here. The harvester is parked up, and we've got this one which we're going to leave out. So real quick, let's take a look at the deals and see if there's anything worth grabbing in here. High density baler does square bales, which I like, and does 180 to 240 centimeters, and this coon wrapper will wrap round or square up to 220. So if we tell the high density baler to make something 220, not 240, I think we could wrap it with this. That's interesting. You know how I like to make silage. It's a good deal for the high density baler too. But no, I don't really want to do grass care on this one. I've done so much grass care, and the other series is all grass care right now because I'm feeding cattle. I think I'm going to pass on those. I don't really need slurry. I'm not doing animals over here either, and this lizard truck is kind of worthless. So let's go ahead and just lower the bed, call it a day, pack it up, and get some rest. So let's wake up at 9 in the morning in December, and we'll see what things look like there. Our rain came overnight or in the afternoon, evening time, and we'll get a better idea of what we're looking at here shortly. All right. So it's morning, it's December, there's snow in the forecast. Our field still looks great. Deals are, a Fendt 673 horsepower, a Vero MT. Now that is a tractor, folks, right there. 511 to 673. Let's just take a look. So this one is the 511 version. If we went to 673, it would cost us an additional 64,000, which we don't really need. 511 is probably plenty for anything we'd ever need to do ever. And I do like the Fendt, and it's nice to drive the ones with the treads every now and then. Tracks, 3 meter, standard. That's the things on the mirrors that detect the nitrogen levels. Now, what could we do with 511 horsepower that we can't do with our current tractor? So let's take a look. Our large is 374, which is pretty good. Medium is 264. And our small is 145. So 145, 260, 370. I mean, 511 is a nice jump, but really that's kind of a lot. And we've got small fields, and that thing would crush the pavement driving down these little paths to our little fields that we have now. The only one that I would really consider this for, excuse me, while I flip through all of the menus here, the only one I really consider this for is for field 36. I could use it on 15, but 36 would probably be the main one that takes a while to plant and do everything on. But I mean, these two little ones, that is way too overkill, and driving this little path back there would be kind of a pain. 18, I don't even know. So it'd just be between 15 and 36. So that is a good deal, but that's really not what we're looking for on this farm. Let's just, while we're here, take a look at our two fields. So growing, fine. Weeds taken care of. We own 18, which has been plowed and cultivated. Same with 34, 33. We just need to plant some stuff. I mean, we're not getting weeds on them yet because we plowed them. So they're just going to sit there. 36 and 15 are just going to sit there till we're ready to harvest them. So yeah, December is a short month. So we're going to dig a nap again. Into January. So we are entering year 2 in this series. See what else we got in the sales in year 2. And we'll see if that snow actually sticks on the ground. Nope, but more snow in the forecast today. Field's still looking good. And I'm just kind of assuming if 15 looks good, 36 looks good, and there's nothing to do on the other 3. So, because we're, at this point, we're waiting for either harvest. And let's see, canola is harvestable in July. And we need to plant some stuff in either March or April, depending on what we wanted to plant, and go from there. So let's take a look at the deals now. Okay, so brand new stuff all over the place. This is a auger wagon. 141, that's a lot. This is just a slurry container, slurry tank. Mixer wagon is interesting. Yeah, auger wagon could be fun. I haven't really messed around with those too terribly much. We don't need it. But actually, do we even have a tipper? Yeah, we've got one trailer. And we're literally right next to our silo. So probably no reason to get an auger wagon when we can dump straight into our silo here at our home base. All right, February, here we come. Yeah, when you're working these small farms, at least the first year, sometimes you have to do this just to get through what you need to get through to get to where you can actually process your materials. And I just didn't get those smaller fields purchased or processed quick enough. We did get the sorghum off of 18, and I just didn't want to do chickens again yet because we have done chickens so many times on all of my series. So, ooh, look at that deer coming out of the woods. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. All right, let's check the sales. Ooh, case axle flow. It's a nice looking harvester, but we have one. This is that round baler, picker-upper, which is nice. We're not baling. This Rubicon is interesting. It's a real big sprayer. We don't need a sprayer that big. All right, February is kind of a bust too. Let's just check our map. Nope, nope, nope. Nothing on 34 and 35 for weeds, which makes sense. 18, they're just there. 36 and 15 are still canola and still not ready to be harvested. Growing, growing. All right, here comes... Actually, before we go to March, real quick, let's take a look at what we can plant in March. Maybe we should go get the equipment now so we can just start planting immediately on day 1. So on our calendar in March, we can plant oats, which we had talked about before. Soybeans have to wait till April. Not really messing with potatoes and sugar beets yet. Yes. We could plant oilseed radish and then plow that in later if we wanted to do wheat or barley again. But I don't think that we do. I had talked about doing sunflowers because we're going to do the oil factory maybe, because all we're doing is canola right now. We have that sorghum if we want to sell it, which actually we should probably check the prices. Sorghum is it dropping? Farm Store Bay 1, I think, is the one on our property, 1059. What is the price fluctuation? Yeah, January's kind of the top. We're in February, 1020, 1059. Do we have sorghum? Is it just sitting in our tipper? Or is it sitting in our harvester? It was not showing. Normally you see that 0 liters, we have 0 liters of sorghum, so it's not in our silo. All right, let's take a look. Before we go to March, I want to have a plan, and so let's just take a little bit of time here in February to develop that plan and swap out some equipment if we need to, and then go from there. So let's go find this sorghum that we bought, because I would have thought we put it in our silo, but it doesn't look like that's what we did. And our tipper is not in here, so it must be in here. And there's our sorghum, 5,400 liters. This is the best price we're going to get for sorghum, and since I kind of nixed us doing chickens, I think it's probably wise for us to just come in here and get this going and get this out of here. So we've got that Nova. If we're going to do sunflowers, which could be interesting, let's get this squared up, and then we're going to back this in here. If we do sunflowers, then I think we actually need to check and see if we can harvest sunflowers with our Nova. Yeah, no chickens, selling our sorghum at the top, which is fine. It was a tiny little field. Made a little bit of money and $132 for our environmental score reward. So nothing to complain about, but nothing to write home about either. So I'm going to put this tipper back in here. Get the camera turned around so I can see what I'm doing. Get that straightened out like so. Back it in. Just back it in. Let's leave that there. So our Nova 330 is here's our harvester. It is compatible with, yes, this Ziegler Corn Champ 5R is a 3.4 meter, or this is a 5 meter. These are still small tools, but that's fine. Our 3.4 meters over here, this can get sunflowers for us. So our current harvester could do sunflowers. How about our planter? Can we plant? Because I think we sold the planter that could do sunflowers, and now we just have the seeder that can't. Because I'm like, why am I ever going to do sunflowers? But I didn't think ahead. So that's on me. So let's maybe think about buying that header and then buying a planter. Now we can't plant anything if we don't have a planter that will do sunflowers, so that's probably where we need to start. Again, nothing in here. I was considering jumping up to this case because I know I can do sunflowers with that, with a different header, and I could get a bigger header for the canola, but never really worked with that Nova. So for now, it's a lot easier to buy a $19,000 header than it is to trade up for an entire harvester, although that's a good deal at 60% off, but still probably not necessary, and that might be a little big for this map. So let's go up here to planters. So are there any seeders that can also do sunflowers? Like, you get all the way to this, which again requires 300 horsepower, but we have two tractors, or we have one tractor that can do that, which will allow us to, nope, brother canola. This one can direct drill. This one can direct drill as well. This is a 6 meter and an 8 meter, but neither of those do planting like we want. Do we have planters that can still do canola? We do not. So this is a problem. Getting into sunflowers is going to cost us $19,000 for a header. This one can direct drill. It can do it in 17 meters wide. That would be absolutely nothing. Like 1.5 passes, maybe. Could also do soybeans, which would be nice. So we could switch from canola to soybeans with this, but we would still not have any. We could plant the canola with our tiny little planter like we did last time. That's always an option. These are giant planters, so we probably don't need to go this big, but 160 is at 12 meters. This one's 17, 18. Yeah, 12 meters is probably more. We have 2 tractors that can do that. But it would be fun to use this giant John Deere planter. 17.8 meters. And it's really not that much more. And it would save us 50% of our passes. But it's huge for what we need, so that's probably not necessary. But yeah, all of the planters seem to do the same 5 things: corn, sunflowers, so on and so forth, soybeans. Some of them have canola. Oh, what is this? You can also do canola. Hello. And 9 meters is better than 3 meters, which is what our other planter does, right? Let's go down to our garage. Our seeder is literally 3 meters. So we could upgrade. Ooh, I'm liking this. So there's a planter here that does canola. This Cavernland. We triple from 3 meters to 9 meters. And we add the ability to do canola, and we can still do sunflowers. That seems like a win-win. So we're going to take this, and we save a little bit of money. So 89,000. Let's get this Cavernland. Buy that. And then let's go ahead and go to our garage, and for our harvester, go to our combinations and get this Ziegler Corn Champion so we can harvest said sunflowers. And I know it just was there, but forgive me. If we look at our planter, 180 horsepower, so we can pull that with our medium. We don't even need to go to our large for that. So that's cool. I wonder if I can pick up our corn header with this tractor. I should probably take the case down there if that's what I'm going to try to do. But I wonder if I can pick up the header with a tractor rather than with the harvester itself. And then we were going to need seeds, which we can buy when we get down there based on the capacity. Yeah, let's just leave that McCormick hooked up. We don't need to use the giant case, but we haven't taken it out in a while, so let's go ahead and do that. Go pick that up. And go from there. So if we are going to use... You've got the front loader. Are these seeds? So we have 400 liters of seeds available as well. So we'll take a look at that when we're down there. Ugh. The McCormick would be the best for this, but we'll take the case because I want to. Oh, listen to that engine purr. All right, so we're going to drop this weight off in the corner. We're going to take this down there. I have no idea if you can pick up a corn header with a tractor or if you have to have the harvester to do it. So we'll just go find out. But anyway, we're going to go buy... Whoops, sorry about that camera. Let me get a little closer. I was trying to zoom in. So we're going to go ahead and plant sunflowers pretty much everywhere in March. But it's only February now, but obviously we're just getting ready. And that'll probably be next episode given the length of this. But let's go pick up our supplies. And I should be pulling my current seeder down there. I guess I don't really need to. I don't need to get rid of it. but I'm never going to plant canola with it again, that's for sure. If I can do 9 meters at a time, why would I do 3? I guess we'll just have it in reserve in case we decide we want to plant oats or barley or something else on one of these fields once we get the canola off of there. So I suppose that is probably a good reason to leave that, rather than having to buy another seeder or planter. Getting my terms confused. Rather than having to buy another one later for another crop that we could theoretically plant with the equipment that we have, it seems better just to go ahead and... Is that the shop down there? How did I miss the turn? I must have missed the turn. Missed the turn trying to figure out the difference between a seeder and a planter. Anyway, so yeah, I think I was considering selling that 3-meter one now that I can do canola with this 9-meter one, if we're just going to literally do canola and sunflowers and maybe rotate those crops. This isn't the way to the shop, guys. What am I doing? Here is there's the farm store. All right, we're going to break some rules here. This is a sell point for something. Horses, I'm guessing. Look at all this stuff. I've never been in here before. So, found a sheep. Found a tipper. Or a trailer, as they call it, and a harvester. We're making progress. Alright, and close your eyes real quick. I'm going to just skip through this guy's field to get over here to the farm store, because I don't want to drive all the way around. And then we're going to literally... I can't. There's stone walls there, so we still have to pop out to the road and pop back, but it saved us a little time. Oop, almost tipped over. Alright, you can open your eyes again. I don't think anybody actually closed their eyes, but if you did, thank you. And you didn't see me drive through that guy's field. So, let's see if we can pick up said corn header. With our tractor. I didn't think so, but I wanted to try. Let's do this. This is going to be a long shot too. You think it'll hook up to the 3-point on the back of the tractor? I have no idea. I've never tried this before, but we're going to just... I'd hate to drive back down here if we didn't need to. Alright, Ziegler, get out of my way. You're just going to push you... Oh, now you're stuck. Alright, so we're going to grab our... This is not how you grab it? Oh, come on. Well, this has not been great. Alright, so let's get back here. Pull it out like this. And then how much does this seeder hold? Planter, excuse me. It holds 2,660 liters. Our big bags are sold in 1,000 increments, so we can just buy 2,000. We have 400 back at home. So let's just get this lifted here. And filled up. Oh, it holds 2,000 of fertilizer, 660 of seeds. Well, that's kind of a shame. Shouldn't have bought so many seeds. All right, but since it holds solid fertilizer, let's get some of that too. I'm only going to buy one because I don't know that this is going to hold all that. Want to see how close that 1,000 gets us. Oh, 2,000 of, yep. All right, big bag of fertilizer again. Now we have something else that fertilizes already, but again, we're just kind of making it work. Gonna grab that. So we got to come back down here, pick up these seeds, and come back down here and pick up. Go ahead and shut that. Pick up our header. But you guys don't need to watch me do any of that because that would be bad content. And I'm just dragging those seeds all around. So anyway, I think I'm going to cut the video here because it seems to make sense to me. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And for more great content, subscribe, which is what I already said. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.